everybody. Welcome back to Mindset, Motivation, and Mastery. So let's jump into today. It's again, when we look at launching this year in the most important way and kind of heading in the direction that we need to get, I want to talk about two of the most important focuses that you should have today, which means, we need to make sure that in order for us to be on track, that we're super clear about our numbers, we manage our time well. And again, I've covered all of those this week. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a kind of a special session about, and it's going to be a little bit longer than what today's or the last couple of days is, but it's really going to be kind of about, man, living in the world we're in today, living in all a world of distraction. What is it that we need to do in order to be successful? And, again, I don't know if you know, but EXP just bought Success Magazine, which is super exciting. Glenn Sanford is now the CEO of Success Magazine. And, so what I'm sharing tomorrow is really a message from the old CEO, which was Darren Hardy. And he talks a little bit about how uber successful people get so much done, right? We all have the same 24/7, yet there are some of us that seem to get more done. Same with real estate agents. We all have the same 24/7. Yet there's some real estate agents out there that seem to kill it. Man, I've some that as a single agent, they might have a couple of assistants that are doing over 100 transactions, in a year just themselves. And then we've got other people who are doing 20, 25 transactions and going, oh my gosh, I'm so crazy busy. I just don't know how to manage my time. Yet we all have the same time. We're all in the same business. We all have the same opportunity to kill it, yet some of us kill it more. So going into this year, I want to make sure that we're focused on the right thing. Obviously, I spend a ton of time in the month, the last couple of months of the year, really talking about planning, really talking about business planning, and then really talking about how to operationalize your business. Like, what do we need to do to make sure that everything is operationalized, make sure that we are, that we all have the systems and processes to manage our business. And, right now, coming into January, that's not our topic. Like, that's not what we're talking about, because ultimately, that is preparation. And right now, I want us to be in action mode, and I want us to look at kind of the most important things that we should be focused on today in order to launch the year. Now, here's the deal. I don't care what market you're in. Like, I was on the phone this morning with someone from New York City, and their markets, it's not like the markets all across the country where there's crazy low inventory and crazy buyers and multiple offers and all of that. But it doesn't really matter what market you're in. Doesn't actually matter what's happening in your market. These are the two most important focuses that you need to have at this time of the year, no matter what's going on in your market or where you live. Like, you've got a lot of people in Canada, or you've got a lot of people in the northern states that see massive seasonality, where their winter months are a little bit slower, and they're coming into, they're in January now, and it's kind of snow on the ground, harder to show homes, just coming out of the holidays. And then you've got people that are in Arizona or Florida who, again, now is a good market for them, because they've got people coming from up north, and they still do, even though we're living in the world that we're living in right now. I was talking with someone from Arizona yesterday, and they're killing it, still from snowbirders, people coming down from up north. So these two focuses, I don't want you to start telling yourself story, because the stories we tell ourselves are what hold us back from success. And what I know to be true is the most successful agents always find a way. They find an opportunity. Matter of fact, Tom Ferry just did a video that said, look around you for all the opportunities, because there's so many opportunities around you. And you can easily, in a world like today, tell yourself stories about why you can't get going. I mean, yesterday we had a huge day in the US and a lot of things going on. It's easy to get distracted in times like this. It's easy to get distracted with what's happening in the world. It's easy to and it's easy to make up excuses of why we don't do it. But if we're entering into 2021 focused on these two things, and I'm going to share my screen, then ultimately we're going to come out at the end of the year ahead of the game. I mentioned a couple times this week, my goal for most of my clients is to get them to hit their goal by October. The reason I want them to do that is so that we have time to prep and plan and look back on the year and see what we did well, see what we didn't do well, and see what we need to do less of or more of. So right now, hold on. There we go. So right now, there are really two things that I want you to really look at and go, man, am I killing it in these two areas? And do I have enough business? And, again, that is going to be right here. Two of the most powerful focuses today are listings and appointments. Now you go, they're always important. Yeah, but here's the truth. I want you to have complete clarity around how many appointments are you supposed to go on this week in order for you to hit your goal. So I want you to take your 2021 closed transaction goal, multiply it by your conversion rate. Now, listen, some of your conversion rates are killer, but I want you to get real here. I want you to get real about your conversion rate. I want you to really look at it and go, listen, I've worked with buyers and I'm really good at converting buyers. However, this past year, working with buyers was a little bit tougher just because we had low inventory. There were multiple offers. I didn't win everything, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. You're still an amazing agent. Yet the market conditions, have held us back from being able to convert at a higher level because maybe we didn't have enough inventory. And those are all reasons and not excuses that you didn't do well enough. Or those aren't stories you tell ourselves. So we just get real with it, right? Because we want to set ourselves up to win. So what's our conversion rate? Which means, man, if we, if we did, I'm just going to do some math here. Just so like if we wanted to close 40 transactions and we know that maybe, listen, we want to go on enough appointments this year and we want to, protect ourselves. Let's say for every 3 appointments, we have and close a deal. Maybe it's 5, maybe it's 5 appointments. Let's use the number 5. So for every 5 appointments, if we have 40 and we need to go on 5 appointments to close 1 deal, then we need to go on 200 appointments this year. We need to go on 200 realistic appointments. And someone on a call this morning said, well, what's an appointment? Well, I want to be clear. An appointment is, meeting with someone that potentially you can either take a listing or write a buyer contract. Going out on coffee or meeting people that you aren't going to do business with isn't an appointment. Don't kid yourself. Don't sell yourself short by saying, oh, I went on an appointment when it really wasn't. Let's get clear that an appointment means that you potentially can write a contract with them. So based on the example, we now know that our conversion was for every 5 buyer appointments, we close 1 deal. I know that's a low conversion. I know you probably are all better than that, but I would rather you set yourself up to win. And again, my goal is for you to hit your goals by October, right? So 200 appointments this year. So if we take 200 appointments and we divide that, let's say by 48 weeks, I do know there's 52 weeks in a year, but here's the deal. We're going to have some vacation time. We're going to have some sick time. We're going to have some time that we're not focused. As much as I would love for you all to be, man, we are on lead generation and setting appointments. Like I'm giving you 4 weeks to either take off, screw up, and we all do that. So I just want to make sure again that we're setting ourselves up to win. So if we multiply that, divide that by 48, that gives us 4.16. So I want you to win. So I'm going to say 5 appointments. Right? Which means we need to go on 5 appointments a week in order for us to hit our goal. Are you doing enough appointments right now that's aligned with your goal this year? Ask yourself. Now, if not, take a second to look at that, right? And so let's even go back and do those numbers real quick. If we wanted to do 40 transactions and we had to have 3 appointments, so multiply that by 3, it's 120 appointments a year. Divide that by 48 weeks. It means we need to do 3 appointments a week in order to hit that goal. Are you doing 3 appointments a week? Have you set up this week to do 3 appointments? Because if you're not, you're behind the 8 ball. And I know it's the first week of January. I know everyone's going, but Jared, it's just January 7th. But it's a week into January 7th. It's a week into this year. So in order for you to hit your goal, you're either on those appointments or you're falling short for this year. So figure out your appointments. Most important thing that you can do is get super clear on how many appointments. And I don't care where you are in the business. I don't care if you're a brand new agent. And I don't care if you run a team of 20 agents. At the end of the day, what is your key performance appointment that you need to be on? What does that mean? Maybe you're just doing listings. Maybe you're the listing king and I'm just doing listings. Maybe you're an agent on a team and you're just doing buyers. I don't care. At the end of the day, you need to know how many appointments you need to go on in order to hit that goal. Second thing is listings, right? listen, we're going, oh yeah, listings are tough to get. And we're telling ourselves all these, excuse my French, bullshit stories around listings, right? And here's the deal. Listings is your inventory. Listings drive your business. Go get more freaking listings. I know they're harder to get. Absolutely fully aware. But here's the deal. Right now, you need to focus on, sellers that are on the fence, right? Focus on sellers that are on the fence. Focus on sellers that are a year away from selling. Focus on old expireds, terminated listings. Focus on sellers that are on the market, but they're just not selling. Right? Again, go out and find sellers that are doing. Why? Why do we want to do that? Again, when we're sharing this, we have an inventory shortage. Number one, we have an inventory shortage. There's an upward pressure on price, right? Which means, man, people can get more for their home now, right? So make sure you're sharing the right message. Inventory shortage, upward pressure on price. Number three, and again, my number one and number two here are mixed up. Those are reasons that number one should be inventory shortage. Number two should be upward pressure on price. Number three is there's less competition, right? There's less competition out there. Why? There's less homes on the market. There's less homes on the market. So be clear with them that there's less competition. Number four, buyers in the market are pretty serious right now. Like they're super serious. They're out to win. They're out to buy a home. They know what's going on in the market and they're there. And then your sellers, it's no better time than working with a buyer right now because they can just go, here's my home, put offers on it, and let's see. And most people are pulling off all conditions, all that sort of stuff. And it's been never an easier time for sellers to get their home sold. Because why? Buyers are serious. We have record low interest rates, right? Record low interest rates. And the biggest reason right now that people should be listing their homes is the window is open now. It's open now. It's not always open. Go back, I sold, homes in, the crash in the US in 2008, 2009, and that was hard because the window was shut on sellers. They were losing money. Might have been easy to get listings, but man, they were feeling the pain. So this window for sellers is open now, and it's not always going to be open, right? It's not always going to be open. So again, I'm going to review this real quick. Number one is there's an inventory shortage, not sellers on the fence. That's a reason. That's people we should be going after. That's who we should be focused on, right? Upward pressure on price, right? So in other words, prices are going up, not down, which means negotiations is easy. Why? Because buyers are just coming in and putting in crazy offers, right? There's less competition on the market. Buyers are serious. Record low interest rates, which also is not going to stay. But because of all of that, the window is open now for sellers. So your two focuses is to go out and build enough inventory that you consistently have enough closes aligned with your goal for the end of the year. And if you build enough inventory right now, that's going to happen. It's going to happen. And if you make sure that you're focused on going on enough appointments consistently, which means we're staying on our appointment goal every week, and our conversions are where it is. And if we play that safe, meaning that our conversions, that we're making sure that our conversions, that we're not overestimating, because like I always talk to agents and I go, well, listen, how many listing appointments do you have to go on to get one listing? And they go, oh, I get 100% of mine. And here's the truth. I've never met an agent that's gotten 100%. Now, I've met some really good agents that their conversion is high. But if your mindset is, oh, for every 2 buyers, I close a deal, I'm going to call BS on that because I don't think that's true right now in this market. There's a lot of buyers that are struggling, right? There's a lot of sellers. There's a lot of buyers sitting in homes who are afraid to sell, right? Who are afraid to sell because there's nothing on the market, right? So be clear on your conversion numbers and make sure you're aiming, and then you always go up. If it's 4.1 appointments a week, you can't go on 1.1 appointment. So let's just raise that bar to 5, raise it to 4, whatever it needs to be. Ultimately, we need to make sure that you're going on enough appointments to align with your goals and that you have enough listings to carry to carry your business and to always stay track on your goals. All right, guys, thanks for joining me here on Mindset, Motivation, and Mastery. Have a powerful day. I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow.